And also going back to Rob's, there was a mention of Great Expectations, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Great Expectations is a Charles Dickens novel, and of course, Lost has a lot of Dickens references, including one of the episodes, A Tale of Two Cities. So.
Right, exactly. Rob, Lost Heart to Kate, he says when he gets Follow Fridays from people on like Saturday. Yeah, I didn't know this until last week because I saw something. He had done that as a Follow Friday to somebody. I said, why didn't you ever do that to me? He goes, oh, that's when I get them from people not on a Friday. I give them the Follow Friday. We have to go back because you have to go back to Friday. I thought that was so
funny.
So today he sent me. Yeah, so today he sent me a We Have to Go Back Follow Friday.
That is cute.
And speaking of Rob, what's that?
He can hear us. I think he can hear us.
Oh, Rob, hello.
At last. And Jamie just got here too.
And Janie's here. Hi, Janie.
Janie, yay! Yes, he can hear us.
Yay.
Awesome.
Hey, Rob, guess what? I'm going to read out. Rob asked me, Ms. Wright, if you don't mind to reread a couple of his MiMo's from your last podcast, because there was a couple of words that weren't pronounced correctly. So he asked me to read
because
them,
I can't read.
if you don't mind. No, he just asked me if I would read them out. So it's not very much, just a couple. So if you can indulge me and Rob, especially since he's had such a bad day, and this is my last podcast as a host, if you can please indulge me, I will read out Rob's MiMo's, or I should say rear view MiMo's from across the sea. Here's what he wrote. Another appearance was made in this episode by Red Wine. So this time I have bought a Shiraz Cabernet from the vineyards of Jacob's Creek to drink during this edition of the podcast. I was hoping for a hint of black smoke in its taste and or bouquet, but at least its name fits well. And with that, I am not referring to the well made by the man in black. That's funny. Like the boy man in black, I have never left the island that I was born upon. And just like the vision of the biological mother of the boy man in black had made him want to leave his island, a lady has come into my life who has made me want to leave my island.
Aww.
Oh. That's really sweet. It's true though, he's never left England, you guys. So Rob's always just been on his island, and now I make him want to leave his island. So anyway, on the British, what's that?
Sweet.
That's sweet.
Thanks. On the British TV soap opera Coronation Street, there is also a character named So Sorry. And it's so funny because ever since Rob told me this, there's a lot of people that say, so sorry, I'm so sorry. And so there's a character on this TV show named So Sorry. So on the British TV soap opera Coronation Street, there is also a character named So Sorry. But he must extinguish the light and the black smoke in order to protect an island. Rob is saying that mother in Lost was so sorry. So on Coronation Street, there's also a So Sorry. I'm so sorry. This character, I guess, says that all the time. I'm so sorry. You'd be surprised how many people say that in TV shows and movies. Okay. At the end of the episode, Locke made a reference to the man in black and his mother being the island's very own Adam and Eve. And the relationship between the man in black and Jacob is startlingly reminiscent of the relationship between Cain and Abel, the sons of Adam and Eve. And Rob mentioned this to me before, but he's mentioning the chat. He really supports the fact of watching the episode live so we can hear everyone cry.
Yep.
Including myself. Yes, including myself. I already got choked up watching 2 minutes of the episode. And like I said before, Rob has supported me mainly behind the scenes with his MiMo's and supporting me as a person. So he's just as important a part of the podcast.
We may do some other things like, Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, or you never know what we might do. We might do some current mirror moment specials where we come on and just talk about current mirror moments to Lost every once in a while, just, at a whim. So it's at the end. And, Michelle, you're always welcome back whenever we do any of those things as well, of course.
Right, please. Yeah, please let me know, especially if something gets announced at the last minute. Just shoot me off an email because I'm not always on Twitter every day. So.
Yeah. So it's at the end, and, we'll still hear from you and hopefully have more time with you, And also, I'm hopefully going to get the thing going with my church, too. So it's kind of up in the air right now. But I'll let everybody know about that as well as it develops and things happen. So, and thank you again, Ms. Wendy, for your support and coming on the podcast so much, and being co-host and giving us such amazing mirror moments every single time you're here. Always so interesting to listen to the things you come up with. You're very good at that, so thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I think it was the Christmas special, and I don't think I had stayed on for the whole time, the first Christmas special that we had, and I remember listening to it. It was very long, but I'll never forget. It was just Miss Wendy and Miss Wright all the way towards the end, and after all the people had gone, and Ms. Wright had done some mirror moments, and then she said, "So, Miss Wendy, do you have any mirror moments?" And she goes, "I have a few." And she just had all these great mirror moments, and that really, it was great, because you would think, oh yeah, well, we don't have, but it was just like, and she was just so great, because she hung out the whole time, and she was, I think that was like a 5.5 hour podcast, whatever it was, and I was so impressed. And Ms. Wendy wins the prize for the closest to the podcast agreeing to be my co-host on a week when I didn't have a co-host. So that was 108 minutes before the podcast.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Wendy.
Yeah. I didn't have time to send you a special prize for that.
You're the winner. That was great. And I know Ms. Wright has jumped in to help me on weeks when we couldn't get somebody, and like I said, I know that everybody's time is valuable, and we alternate schedules for a reason, so that the pressure's off kind of for each of us. I really appreciate when Ms. Wright still ends up spending so much time when she doesn't really have to. So thank you, Ms. Wright.
Well, I know you say I don't have to, but it's my passion and it's my baby. It's like, it's my podcast. So I do put a lot of time and a lot of effort, and, you guys are really important to me, all the listeners of the podcast and all the co-hosts and you, Michelle, and you guys rank really high. I'm going to start crying.
I know. Like I said, just wait for 2 weeks. We're all going to be sobbing.
I know.
But it's like we're not even going anywhere. It's like we're not going anywhere. It's just Lost Mirror Moments rewatch is over.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just you guys rank really, really high on my importance list in my life. And y'all are a priority. It's been many times that my friends here in Austin want me to do something or want me to go somewhere or whatever, hang out. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. I've got my podcast tonight, or I've got my podcast tomorrow night, or I've got to prepare for my podcast.
Right. Well, that's interesting.
Oh.
We lost Ms. Wright.
Oh. I heard like a,
well, it was really weird because she was talking, And then all of a sudden, like, the talk shoe flashed, and I'm like, what did I do? What did I do? And then she was gone. Okay, so we'll give her a second to come back, because that's got to be the worst. Nellie in the chat says she went to hang out with her friends. Oh, no. One of them's calling me now. Yeah. Oh, Rob in the chat said she moved on. She's moved on already, you guys.
She let go and
she let go and moved on. I need you to go first, Ms. Wright. I need you to go first.
Oh.
Okay, here she is. So. Hello? Oh, she's gone. Hold on. Oh, no. Don't tell me this is going to happen again. Hello?
Yay!
Oh,
yay! Remember that time when you guys went off the call and then I couldn't bring you back on?